Let me start by telling two stories. This is me. This is my dad. And I don't know if there's there's a lot of parents in here, and parents should all know kids love to argue. So as a kid, I love to argue with my dad. Whether it's about what time I can go to bed, when I could go out to play with my friends, or when I can play games, I love to argue. And my dad would always reply with one thing. If I could find the fault in his logic, then I could do whatever I want. And so from the ages 7 to 16, I made it my life's goal to find that one tiny little fault within my dad's logic. Here's an example. My dad, like every single Chinese father does, sent a WeChat article into our family group chat. He told me that drinking sugary drinks would increase the chance of heart disease. And me, being the argumentative kid that I was, I decided to find some flaws in it. So I went through the article, and I found this. Now, this is a moment where I'm really glad that I didn't drop AP statistics this year. Sample mean is 56 years old. I am not 56. Non-smokers show no increase. I'm not a smoker, so that didn't apply to me. This is a correlational study which show no causation. And I gathered all my evidence, sent it to my dad, and he didn't reply. Well, if you're wondering how that conversation ended, it ended with my dad coming into my room and asking me if I could shut up. And on to my second story. I went on a ski trip with my mom once, and we went to a hot pot store. And I love hot pot, but if you know anything about me, I love iced tea even more. So I decided to drink a lot of iced tea. And my mom warned me that if you drink too much iced tea, I'm going to get an upset stomach. Of course, I did not listen to her, and I did my thing. So let's do some math. Iced tea, a lot of it, plus hot pot, what does that equal? So somehow, I got diarrhea on that ski trip, on the ski course. I'm so thankful that there was a toilet up there, or else it would have gotten messy. So why am I telling you this? Well, whether you realize it or not, you've began forming a mental image of me within your mind. You might think that I'm an argumentative person. I don't like to listen to authority. I like to do things my way without considering the consequences. And that's something I think we don't discuss enough, and that is the power of stories and how they impact our identity. Now, before you start going, oh great, another TEDx speech about identity politics, think about it. How would you answer the question of, who are you? For most of us, the answer would be very simple labels. For example, I'm 17, I'm Chinese, I'm a man, and I am a student here at SCLS. But what do any of these labels mean? Well, I think I found the answer. What does it mean to be an SCLS student, for example? If you get hungry at 10:50, you're probably an SCLS student. If you instinctively look around for teachers at the mall before you take out your phone, you're probably an SCLS student. See, we could all relate to that somehow. We just added meaning to these vague, meaningless labels that we answered our questions of identity with. But most of the time, these connotations that come with labels can hurt. What's going on? Oh, sorry. Most of the time, these connotations that come with labels can hurt because we have a tendency to overestimate the power of labels and underestimate the power of stories. Well, I'm not asking you to answer the question of who are you with stories, of course. Could you imagine if I answered my college interview of who are you with, oh, I went on a ski trip one time and I got diarrhea? Right? Labels are very good at giving general ideas of things, but they don't capture the true image of who you are. And for my story is, the first time I went to school in America, my first year of 8th grade in Austin, Texas, one of the first questions I was asked is, do you eat dogs? That was really weird for me because from my perspective, I wasn't really different from these American kids at all. I was raised in a very international background, very international, very multicultural. My English is arguably better than my Chinese, and most of all, I had an American passport. I was born in Detroit, which made me an American citizen. So, to me, I was no different from them. But yet, here, I was getting treated differently. I was asked if I ate dogs because of this one label that I was Chinese. Well, don't get me wrong. I do identify with my Chinese label more, but even that has its problems. My mom is from the north of China. My dad is from the south of China. I live in this very mixed city of Shanghai. And I grew up not knowing where in China am I from. All my other friends, they could answer like, oh, I'm from Henan, I'm from Wenzhou. These answers like that was very difficult for me because I've spent time in both places in China with both grandparents. So I did not know how to answer that question. And in the midst of my confusion, I began formulating my own answer. It's that my story, my experience is so unique to myself that a shallow, a vague label cannot capture that. And that is where the importance of story lies. So let's sum this all up. 1, stories often determine who we are. 2, labels often are shallow and they overgeneralize and they do not capture the whole image. And 3, it is our experiences that makes us unique. So if there's one thing that I wanted you guys to take away or start doing is that start thinking about experiences or stories. It could be anytime, anywhere. It could be in the shower, on the metro, or even in the toilet. Just whenever you have time, think of a story that makes you you, right? Because if I told my friends that, like my diarrhea story, they'll think, oh, it's so Addy. Think of a story that makes you you, that your friends will think about you whenever you tell them that story. And that's when we began diving deeper into identity, diving deeper than existentialism, than any racial theory, queer theory, or gender theory can really ever harness. That's when we get to the roots of identity. And that's the power that stories have. Thank you.